Good afternoon. I'm Molly Young from the Miami University Alumni Association. Today, as part of the Miami University Alumni Association's webinar series, we present Money DNA, Transforming Our Relationship with Personal Finance, sponsored in part by Kemba Credit Union. Today, Todd Romer is joining us. He's the founder of Young Money University. Todd grew up in Dayton, Ohio, and first began investing the money he earned from mowing lawns when he was just in high school. After publishing Young Money magazine from 2009, Todd launched the Young Money University Financial Success Speaking Tour to help 18 to 29-year-olds learn how to manage money differently, to reduce stress, and begin chasing dreams. Just as a reminder to our live viewers, you can submit a question during the webinar by clicking the ask a question button under your video. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Todd to get us started. And I am well above the age of 29, but I am here for some helpful tips too. So take it away, Todd.
That's fantastic. Thanks, Molly. And yes, I want to make sure we're clear. Anybody who's above the age of 29, and maybe there's a prospective Miami student that's 16 or 17 that's on here. This is going to be helpful for you as well. Again, I'm excited to be here, be a part of your webinar series, and I just can tell you, even though I'm a University of Dayton grad, I have had two older sisters attend Miami. I've had many friends go to Miami, and um, always thought that the first time I ran into Skippers when I was 18 years old, uh, the concept of cheese fries blew me away. And so I will always think that Skippers made that a unique opportunity happen and many years ago. So anyway, thanks for having me. Let's get into it a little bit. I will tell you, I am going to be learning along with you today. There's never a time that I think I have it all down. I have money down. That is a bad place to be. Like I've got everything figured out. I don't, but I do stress and want to stress to you today that there are some things that I've learned along the way that when I made some poor financial decisions in the past and then got back on track, and then talking to and interviewing so many people, whether they're 18 to 29, 18 to 34, talked to many people much older about what they wish they would have learned or what they hoped or wished they would have done when they were younger. Um, I think we've created something pretty exciting at Young Money University, and we're going to get into that money DNA piece right now, transforming our relationship with personal finances. And um, it's just going to be hopefully a great session for you. Absolutely, as Molly shared, if you have any questions about anything as we go along, just plop them in the chat box, and Molly will read them to me. I should be able to see them too, but if I don't, she'll let me know. So we want this to be at an engaging back and forth as well. So yeah, let's go to the I guess next slide. I got to do that, don't I? Yes, I do. Here we go. What will you be? This is just pretty much the how we will be down the road. Maybe we are some of these, one of these right now. You're either going to be a financial survivor. I just state facts. You're going to be a financial survivor, or maybe you're currently a financial success, or you're hoping to be financially successful. And here's just some facts that are really recent. 70% of Americans, this is from Forbes and many other places, I believe it's much higher because of the time I have spent around the country speaking to a lot of people. 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And there is no judgment that I put on anybody living paycheck to paycheck because I've been there and done that. And then I believe there's another 15% that are just doing okay. So there's just a huge amount of financial stress going on in America. And the number one stressor at work, number one stressor at home is financial stress. So we're going to hopefully, and hopefully I will teach you how to become financially successful today, but we got to drill down into some things about our money DNA, and that involves how we grew up, what did we see growing up, right? Did first bullet point there. I'm going to go down this list kind of quickly, but did you experience financial strain as a kid or teenager? Did you hear arguments about money in your house from your parents? Did you experience significant gambling or high risk taking by your parents? Were your parents possibly super frugal? So maybe you saw some strain and maybe you saw um, some things and you heard some things in your home, but maybe your parents were super frugal. And this is no judgment. I remember a family, I was in my 20s. They went to our church, and I just happened to hear that they bought a box of, and if you're doing this, again, no judgment, just telling you this is, I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool for them. They bought a box of plastic, gosh, what's the name of that brand? It's escaping me. A Ziplocs and large and small Ziploc bags. And they, I think, bought those every 3 to 4 years because they would wash the bags for containers and putting food in the refrigerator, and then it would wash them. They were very rarely throwing anything away, right? And so that was frugal. Nothing wrong with that. So were your parents super frugal? Did you kind of see like, whoa, this is like we had to really watch our pennies? The next one question, did you wish you were like other families who seem to have money? Did your parents badmouth the stock market? Were you never taught how to manage your money? Anybody in chat, if you want to just say, yeah, that's me, or this is what kind of things that I grew up with, feel free to list any of those if you'd like. Um, and just getting it out. Yeah, this is kind of what I grew up with. So there's a lot of things that we see as a child or teenager that shapes our beliefs about money, and it forms our money DNA. Um, Here's the flip side. Did any of you feel financially secure from your memories? Saw generosity from within your family? Saw a lot of giving, or maybe a lot of service work, both time and possibly money? And were you possibly taught sound money management and wealth growing habits? If that's the case, that's great. But it's a pretty small percentage of Americans that had this kind of upbringing. It doesn't matter, it's just the way it is. And so, as I said, it's your money DNA. You've got one, whether you know it or not. And here's the beautiful part of this. While our biological DNA can't be changed, we all hear about, this is genetics. I don't know, high cholesterol or high blood pressure. It kind of runs in my family, or cardiovascular disease, or you name it, it runs genetically, for the most part for some people. And so that's tough sometimes, right? Like, yeah, I've got this. Um, I have a personal story of a friend I went to high school with who probably has one of the most sad DNA genetic issues. And God love him. His father had Huntington's disease. That is a really nasty disease. And the son suffers from that to this day, um, contracted many, many years ago. So absolutely 100% genetic, right? Very, very tough disease. So your money DNA, here's the good news. It can be changed quickly. I write in there, yay, right? That's pretty cool. You don't have to keep a money DNA if you happen to go through struggle growing up, or if you're going through current struggle in your 20s financially. Anybody within chat want to kind of raise your hand and say, yeah, I got financial stress today? Anybody in there want to just say, yeah, that's me, or I lack financial confidence, or I want to know more about investing. I feel overwhelmed or afraid. All that can change. Your money DNA can change very quickly. So I hope that's great news for you, because we've been seeing within Young Money University tens of thousands of people, changed whatever was in their growing up money DNA to go, boom, I didn't know I could do money this way. So that's kind of what we're going to be teaching too. And this is a big, big piece. Um, our mind, you know this, our mind is super powerful. We can believe things about the world that may not be actually true. Been there, done that. We can believe things about ourselves that simply aren't true. And been there, done that. And then we can maybe get straightened out in a good way to go, wait, I don't need to have that limiting belief. So crush the limiting beliefs to change your money DNA. The first one, it's a big one. There's a fear of failure that I'm guessing some of you have. If you want to put in chat, yep, I have it. Being courageous, my hand's always up. I have a tendency to have fear of failure because I'm human. And fear of failure, which is rampant among humanity, right? This is what fear of failure leads to. It leads to fear of dreaming, which leads to settling, which leads to less financial success. In fact, fear of failure is expensive. And so, what we do and what we've been doing for a long time inside of YMU is we help people overcome this fear of failure, or at least when it comes in, that fear, we teach how to tell it to go away. And how you overcome that fear of failure real quickly is to simply do something, take action within minutes, hours at the most, within 24 hours for sure. Make a phone call, send a text, do some Google research on a company that you're kind of wondering, am I going to get hired? Just do the research. Go do something. Talk to someone. Say, hey, I'm actually feeling a little bit afraid. That's good. Get it out. I'm feeling nervous. I'm feeling anxious about X, Y, or Z. I'm feeling anxious because I just started investing. I'm scared. Well, we'll teach you in a little bit that fear of failure doesn't have to be there. Just the antidote is to do something. Just take action. It will simply go away. The second one, I'm not smart enough. Again, that's limiting belief. People have told us at YMU, told me certainly that, man, how do you know me? How do you know what I'm thinking? And well, it's because I've had all of this. We all have it. So we're just kind of talking about the elephants in the room, right? We're bringing those out so we can crush them. I'm not smart enough is a limiting belief. Anybody have that going on? Capable enough, good enough, or deserve it enough to reach my dreams and goals. This is a big one. It's a limiting belief that is massive. Let me tell you about, I forget her name. I think it was Jennifer. Jennifer was a videographer in uh, not Cedar Rapids, Cedar City, Utah, home of Southern Utah University, where I spoke and continue to speak around the country and we'll be speaking there in a couple of months again to student athletes and to general students there. Jennifer was the videographer. She came to not hear me speak. She came to videotape me so that she could have it on their college website and have that go out to other students who would like to have been there, but they couldn't. So she was just a videographer. And after the presentation, like this, she said, I just came here to get paid. I make $17 an hour. I work for the campus part time, and I just simply came here to do my job. But you, in your content, helped me to overcome a massive limiting belief. I said, yeah, Jennifer, what was that? She said, I felt, and she was around 25, 26, 27. She said, I felt for a long time, and I still do, but no longer today, that I did not deserve to be financially successful and reach my dreams. Some things she talked about for growing up. And she said, I just didn't deserve it. You told me absolutely I deserve it. So whatever that is with you, you absolutely are smart enough, capable enough, you deserve it enough, and you're good enough to reach your goals and dreams, especially when I share some more slides on how to do it, how to get on that road. So the third one, thanks, JJ. You are plenty enough to do money differently and change your money DNA. You have the skills. You are plenty enough. Anybody like hearing that in the chat? It's just truth. And so the money DNA that we've had, whether we've had all kinds of struggle or anybody on this willing to be courageous, I'll be vulnerable. And anybody make some dumb money mistakes in their life, even now, even last week, last month? Anybody buy something in the last 12 months that they regretted within 24 hours? Been there. We've all made dumb money mistakes. Some of it is based on our money DNA. So the next slide that I want to bring to you is going to be, once I click on it, is how we can get ourselves, how to get you, Todd has to continue to get myself part of the way with money. And we do this with automation. I learned a long time ago when Todd decides, well, I'll save money in a savings account, or I'll do this, and I got it all together. I'll figure it out. Now I know how to do this stuff. I know how to do this investing. I know how to spend money. I know how to save it. And then I was like, whoa, wait, no. When I get in the way of myself with money, it doesn't end well most of the time. So to reduce short and long-term financial stress, we stress automation, financial automation, getting yourself out of the way of yourself with money. And we will talk about how to do that in a moment. Financial automation that will bring you less financial stress. Second bullet point, more feeling of control. Who would like to have more control in their financial life? Like, yeah, I've got control over my money. This is cool. I didn't say 100%, but you'll have a greater sense and a greater feeling of control as I share how to automate your financial life to get out of some of those growing up experiences, money DNA with our personal finances that kind of get into our head a lot. In fact, I'm holding up right now, not my book, Young Money. I'm holding up a book called Psychology of Money, if you can see that. Highly recommend it, by Morgan Housel. It's fun when people recommend other books in this industry. I don't care if my book sells zero today. This is a great one. It gets into, let me just read the bottom. It talks about timeless lessons on wealth, greed, and happiness. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But money is really up here. We got to get this garbage. We got to get our preconceived notions of how we saw our parents growing up, how we did money and how we experienced it, how we're doing it now, maybe. We just got to get some of that stuff out and clear it out. And that's the beauty of being able to change your money DNA quickly. You'll experience, third bullet point, when you start doing financial automation that I'll be teaching here momentarily, you're going to experience more financial confidence, which will lead to experiencing more joy. That's cool. Anybody like to have a life of experiencing more joy? Of course. So we need to do automation with money, and I'll get to that right now, how to do something. So this presentation is not about, yeah, when I get to make more money or I have a better job or when this happens in my life or when this kind of perfectly gets settled in my life, then I'll do things differently. Well, we're again very excited about Kemba Credit Union being our sponsor, and you can do this with them. You can do this with other financial organizations too. But we teach, look at this, ditch your savings account. You're like, what? Ditch your savings account? Whoa, what is this guy talking about now? Yeah, I want you to get rid of it. Get rid of your account called savings. Here's what I mean by that. I know probably 99% of you on this webinar, those who will be hearing it recorded later, likely have a savings account. Nothing wrong with that. But when you have an account, first bullet point, when you have an account called savings, it will continue to mentally beat you up. Here's what I mean. If this wasn't the case around the country, teaching and talking to thousands of people, then we wouldn't be bringing this into our platform and our program. This one particular slide of content will enable you to leave here quickly and go, whoa, I'm doing this like by 5 p.m. Instead of having an account called savings where you have all your money in, you likely, feel free to raise your hand, you likely have ideas for where that money is going in your savings account. Money, some of you think, yeah, I got money in there for some travel coming up. I've got money in there for, oh yeah, new pair of Lululemon pants. I've got a pair for new earrings, jewelry. I've got some clothes, some shoes. Wait a minute, I have to travel for a wedding. I'm in someone's wedding in this fall. I have to get money out of that. All kinds of ideas, right, that you have in your account called savings. That's actually playing with you mentally and you don't even know it. It's beating you up and you likely don't know it. Here's what we teach, and I'm going to teach you now. Second bullet point, don't have an account called savings. Start creating multiple named savings accounts and then automate transfers from your checking account each month into these named accounts. Last bullet point there, for goals and things of 4 years or less. Look at this. Look at this whole slide of these are just examples. Instead of putting all that money in an account called savings, you can have an account called clothes and shoes, top right. It's literally called clothes and shoes savings account. Or look at the left, third one down, travel. Who would like to have a travel savings account on this webinar, right? All the hands go up. Where you're putting 20, 30, 40 bucks, whatever you start with, who cares the number, just transfer automatically money into that account because you value it. If you value travel, create a savings account called travel. Anybody on this webinar want to share if they've had a phone call from their car mechanic in the last 12 months? Anyone? And so, right, this one hurts. This one really hurts, right? I mean, holy cow. When you have an account called car repair, when you get that phone call, yeah, it's going to be $900 for parts and labor or $1,500. Create a savings account, hopefully today or tomorrow, Friday at the latest, with Kemba or someone else, and call it car repair. By the way, all you need is a $5 deposit and minimum balance requirement with most credit unions like Kemba. Be sure to ask your bank, what's the minimum requirement that I have, minimum balance requirement that I need so that I don't get a fee to have a second, third, fourth, or fifth savings account. How many of you like this? Any questions about saving money this way? Named savings account examples. Anybody like this way to start controlling money? Good stuff. So this is what we teach. Create this, start putting names to your money, creating these named savings accounts. It will excite you and kind of blow you away of how much feeling of control you have. This one's really fast. Again, helping you to overcome your money DNA, which really means getting yourself out of the way of yourself with money for the most part, opening yourself up to dreaming, which we talked about, creating a kind of why for your life. But here's how we teach spending money. First bullet point talks about creating a zero-based spending plan. This is just fancy for the word budget that assigns each dollar of your monthly income to a named expense. Let's say you make $3,000 a month net income. All we're talking about here is opening up a Google Sheet, maybe an Excel spreadsheet, and boom, you start listing, here's my three grand of income. I'm going to tell each dollar where it's going to go each month before the month starts, coming up September. So before September 1st, just say, okay, 3 grand. I've got rent of X. I've got car payment of X. I've got car insurance of X. That's fixed expense. I can't get away with those. I've got utilities of X. I've got cell phone of X. I've got a gym membership that no, that's important to me. Gym membership, Netflix, whatever your monthly fixed expenses are, just keep going. And then maybe you have $900 left. You tell that $900 where to go. And then next, groceries, restaurants, eating out if you value that. Whatever, Hulu subscription, that's something you also like. Disney Plus. Then you're like, wait, I've got 150 bucks left right now. I want to create a savings account called travel. I'm putting 50 bucks a month into that. Now you got 100 bucks left. You're like, I don't want to have a call from my mechanic because it's going to happen, but I don't want to have the pain when that call comes. I'm going to create a car repair savings account so that when that mechanic does call me, I'm not in massive physical and actually emotional pain. I'm going to have the money ready to go. And then I have 50 bucks left. Maybe it's a giving savings account. Maybe it's, I don't know, clothes and shoe savings account, whatever you value. So I hope this is making sense how to dream differently, how to save money differently for 4 years or less. I haven't even gotten into investing yet. That'll be next. How to spend money, how to spend your monthly income with a feeling of more control. And it's just going to feel great. That's what people want. They want less financial stress, right? So the second to last bullet point. Hey, Molly.
Well, hello there, Todd. So I have a question I think that fits
Yeah,
really, really nicely here. Is there such a thing as creating perhaps too many accounts and maybe spreading yourself too thin or inadvertently pressurizing yourself?
I love that. So my quick answer to that is I don't think there's a chance of having too many savings accounts. I actually had 21 at one time when we had four children under the age of 18.
Wow.
We had Jack's travel baseball. We had Luke's braces, Mia's activities, because at that time we didn't know what she wanted to do when she was 7, 8, 9. Like where was she gifted? What did she want to do? And then obviously that reduced when they were adult children. So my big takeaway, I love the question. Start with two or three if you can by Friday, by tonight. I don't whenever you want to do it. And then as you go through your monthly budget slash spending plan, which I'm a big fan of not using the word budget. It's such a negative connotation. Call it Molly's spending plan, September's spending plan, Todd's September spending plan. Yeah, this is how I get to spend my money. And then after a few months, it'll take you about 90 days to figure out, hey, this is how I financially roll. Okay, I'm spending a little bit too much here, but hey, I got 50 bucks left over for October. I'm going to put that in my travel savings account. Or I'm going to set up another one because maybe Molly, maybe you love photography. If that's your thing and you want the new lens from Canon that you think is cool, then create a photography savings account in October. So it'll just bring you that. This is just so I feel so much and more in control. So great question.
Excellent. Okay. Well, there you go,
Hope
Matt.
that
That
helps.
question's for you. All right, carry on.
All right, Matt, fantastic. Love it. Carry on, my wayward son. I think that's a song from way back. Take action if you're going into debt. Let's just talk real quickly about debt. If you've been in debt, you're not dumb, stupid, or should feel ashamed. I've been there, done that. Just take action, and we can actually help that. And we do that stuff in YMU to help you too, if how to get out of debt, and you'll get excited how quickly and easily you can do it. So that's all we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into, because of time, we're going to get right into the investing piece right now. Invest money differently. Man, is this the number one? I see a lot of questions on the side. The questions that came in before, how to determine if my 401k is performing well. What does investing look like now? What type of investments do you suggest? What should you do when you start earning a real paycheck? How should you allocate your money? Um, Hopefully, I've answered that question. Allocating with those expenses, and then creating those name savings accounts. I'm reading one. Advice for paying student loans. We can couple that. We can talk about that in a moment too. So let me get quickly into investing, because here's the quick and dirty, if you will. Investing, and the technique that I teach, is time tested of 130 plus years. That sounds great. Time tested. I'm going to do that. So the first bullet point talks about automatic. There's that word again, automation, helping you get yourself out of the way of yourself, helping you get over the money DNA stuff that you had, whether that's negative, good, or bad, whatever. We all have that, just to come through that, take the fence down of what we learned, what we didn't learn. Automatic monthly investing in solid stocks creates wealth over time, and history proves it. Stock market's been around for 130 years. Average annual, that's every year, on average, the market has returned just over 10% per year, 10.2, including dividends. I'm in for that. Who would like to be in for that? 10.2%. In fact, Dave Ramsey talks about it's actually closer to 12%. If you look at the last 35 years, whatever, 10 to 12, it's much better than what we're getting in our savings account at our bank or credit union, right? Doesn't mean you don't do the savings account. No, you create multiple name savings accounts so your monthly financial life just feels better, right? So, bullet point number 2, investing in stocks has never been easier, requires little money to start. If some of you are investing right now in your 401k and you're wondering about that, let's get into that. You can start, though, with $5 a month with platforms like Acorns, like another investment account. So here's where I'm going to bring it all together in the amount of investment accounts that you need eventually. Your 401k, let's talk about that. Is it performing well? There's a question there. How do I know if my 401k is performing well? Well, number one, make sure you go to your HR person who oversees your 401k with the company that issues that to the company, whether that's Fidelity, Vanguard, all the companies that are managing your money. Make sure you know who that is. Ask your HR person, hey, where is my money? Is it in a growth mutual fund? Is it an ETF? Is it in a international fund? Is it in a heavy bond fund? Because the younger you are, the more you want to be in stocks, a stock fund, a growth stock fund. That's just been around. That advice has been around forever. And again, you should not beat yourself up and say, I should know this. No, you shouldn't. You weren't taught this. It's okay. That's why we do what we do around the country. So just ask your HR person, how do I know if it's performing well? Well, just get on the growth stock fund, get in that kind of fund, not a financial advisor, but ask them, hey, I think I need to get into a higher growth fund, especially the younger you are. As you turn in your 50s and 60s, any financial advisor will tell you to tone that down a little bit, make some adjustments, have more bonds or maybe equal bonds and stocks. It's just the older you get, the less volatility that you want, right? The stock market is volatile, but over time, 10.2%, just stating facts. So I hope that helps you. So you have your 401k plan. Definitely take part in that. That's actual free money that the company is giving you to be a part of that, free cash. Then look at your Roth IRA, where you can contribute just over $6,000 per year in that. It's a tax advantaged account. It's going to contain the same stocks, same companies, Coca-Cola, Procter and Gamble, Johnson and Johnson, Netflix, Nike, Google, Apple, Microsoft, you name it. Those are going to be in another tax advantage account. You're going to own the same boring, if you will, stocks. Who cares? 100 plus actually, in that separate Roth IRA that's going to be there for you, compounding to get crazy dollars to you to create ridiculous wealth when you're in your 60s. And then the third account I recommend, when you can do it, is Acorns. I'm a huge fan of Acorns. We actually have a partnership with them, a business partnership. Perhaps we can send this out to people where you get a $25 bonus when you open up through our YMU link. That's pretty cool. But Acorns allows you to invest spare change. Spare change. So when you go to the, just like when you set up your Cash App or your Venmo or PayPal, it took you 5 minutes to put your bank information in there, right? It's all secure. 12 plus million users of Acorns. Here's why I love Acorns, and I'll show you a chart that'll blow you away in a second. Acorns enables you to go to Skippers. If you go back on a campus at Miami and you go to Skippers for lunch, you get those amazing cheese fries and maybe a hamburger, whatever else, and it costs you $15.50. to eat there. Acorns will automatically round up your purchase to the next whole dollar. You give them your debit card. You can even provide your credit card into Acorns, and that every time you use your credit card, this will happen too. But let's say you give them your debit card at Skipper's, they'll round up your purchase to the next whole dollar. That 50-cent roundup that would have happened if you gave the cashier at Skipper's $16, you get 2 quarters back. Acorns is going to automatically invest that spare change for you. Think about that. Spare change, wherever you use your debit card, is going to be invested for you into likely a growth stock fund so that you can start doing this. This chart may change your life like it has tens of thousands of people across the country. Let's say, Nick, I'm going to go through this pretty quick and so we can answer some more questions here. We got about 5 minutes or so. Nick starts investing at age 26. He invests $150 a month, has money going out from his boring checking account into his boring investment account where he owns 100 plus different stocks. That's 150 times 12 months is equal to $1,800, as you see on the chart there. He does this until age 65. The top left box shows that during that time, Nick's total contributions was 72 grand, giving the power of compound interest, and we're using closer to 12% per year, which is what's happened in the last 35 years. Nick has turned through the power of compound interest 72 grand into $1.7 million. This is the train that hopefully everyone will jump on. You see, then Maria, if you're younger, great. If you're not, doesn't matter. Today's a new day. Just start. Maria does the same thing at age 18, invests $1,800 a year, $150 a month. Look at that column. And Maria on the far right, she stops at age 26. She no longer invests a single dollar. She only invested, look at that box next to Nick. It says Maria's contributions was only $14,400. That's 5 times less than what Nick invested, but she has $2.2 million. You don't have to have $150 a month right now, by the way. You can have $5 a month. Who cares? Just get started. And here's the beauty of having an investment account that's not your 401k or Roth IRA. You can create an Acorns account and take money out in 6, 7, 8 years to put a sweet down payment on a house, or do a remodel to your house, or start a business, or whatever your dreams are back in the beginning of the money system that we teach. Anybody like what they see on this chart? It's pretty cool, right? This is what you can do. So getting back to some questions that renting, we're going to take some questions right now. Renting versus buying a residence, small savings on a home brew coffee versus Starbucks, and brown bag lunch versus going out for lunch. Here's what I'm going to say to this. I love the question and thank you. Of course, you can do that kind of frugality. Nothing wrong with that. If you want to be labeled a frugal person, I'm not a big fan of labels anyway. Oh, you're so frugal, or you're this, you're that. No labels. If you want to do that and save money by brewing coffee at home, awesome. But I hope, or brown bag versus taking money to go out to lunch all the time. Here's where this has to connect up here. See, we've taught this, and I love the author of Automatic Millionaire, who talks about the latte factor. If you just brew your coffee at home and not go to Starbucks, you'll save $30 a month. Well, that's great, but that stuff's been around for decades. To me, that's traditional financial education. But here's what I mean, what I'm going to tell you now. When you get up here with why do I want to brew coffee at home? Wait, why do I want a brown bag versus eating lunch at Skipper's every day or Chipotle or whatever? Why? Well, of course, you're trying to save money, but here's where it can stick significantly to you, and is to make it even more of a, oh yeah, I'm doing this. Attach the reason of you're saving that money to a mini dream. Maybe that mini dream is, hey, you know what, if I do this, if I brown bag 2 out of 5 days a week, or if I only do Starbucks once or twice a week, add up the number. Maybe it's a total of $60 a month that you can save. That $60 a month should not just be, oh, I'm going to save 60 bucks. No, no, get a little more fire in your belly and say, wait a minute, I'm taking that 60 bucks and I'm going to now invest that in addition to my 401k and my Roth IRA. No, I'm doing Acorns. I'm doing Betterment. I'm putting 60 bucks a month into my new home, say, investment account in 6, 7 years. Or no, I'm doing that because you just saw the previous slide, right? Of what that money's going to do. Have a very strong reason. Have a little dream. Have your why behind it, not just I'm just saving money. I hope that helps you with that on how to really get fired up about why you're doing some certain frugal things, which is great. I've got some of those too. Let's see. Any other questions, Molly? Let's see. What does investing look like now? Savannah says, and what type of investments do you suggest? Investing doesn't look any different than it did 50 years ago. Just letting you know. Great companies, great stocks, Coca-Cola, Procter and Gamble, Nike, Johnson Johnson. You just name all of them in our ETFs that I guarantee you Molly has in her 401k or JJ has at Miami University's 401k retirement plan. They own the same stocks as I do, probably you too. They're not going out of business anytime soon. So investing looks the same as 50 years ago. And one little tiny caveat that I'm just going to throw out there. We teach this in Young Money University. If you happen to be want to learn more about that, we'll show you a website here in a moment. We teach a little bit, take a little bit of risk, just a little bit of a asymmetric trade or bet, if you will, not a trade, asymmetric bet, if you will. We talk about Bitcoin a little bit. We talk about some other high growth stuff that just take a little bit that in case if you do lose it, it's not going to crush you, but just to potentially accelerate. We talk about that stuff in YMU. And so it hasn't changed much, Savannah. What does investing look like now? Hasn't changed much. What do you do when you earn a real paycheck? How should you allocate your money? Well, with the money system that we just taught, get that dream going, get your why, get your dreaming, overcome those fears, overcome the belief that you can be successful with money and reach dreams. Create those named savings accounts, even if it's 10 bucks a month. Just create 1, 2, 3 by Friday or next week, whether that's with Kemba or not. Allocate your money that way. Do a zero-based spending plan that we spoke of. Tell each dollar where to go. Put names to your cash. That's how you allocate your money. I think it's Mara or Marja. I'm not sure how you say that. Marja. Much more fun, cool name than mine. Advice strategies for paying student loans. Good question. Let's get to that. I will say this in an unorthodox way. I don't like traditional financial education because we know what it's been doing in America for 50 years, not much. 71% Americans record living paycheck to paycheck. I believe strongly that it's all up here and then in here that's going to fire you up to do money differently. A lot of people will say, make sure you pay your debt off before you start investing. My personal opinion, it's not financial advice. No way, Jose. When you become an investor, you start to get fired up. You saw those numbers before of compounding, what that can do over time. Open up your investment account, even if it's 10 bucks a month. Now you're in the game like the wealthy do. They're no smarter than you. Just begin investing in stock funds, ETFs, Acorns, etc. Then part of your why and your dreaming is, man, I'm putting student loan debt. If you've got, say, one or two different debts, if you will, student loans. Let's say you've got $1,000 student loan debt. Maybe you got one that's $3,000. Maybe you got one that's 15 grand, whatever. Called the snowball. Dave Ramsey uses it. Certainly, that's what he calls it. It's just simply taking the least amount of debt and paying that one off first, and don't care about the interest rate. Yeah, but that's the higher interest rate is with the high $13,000 balance. So I should really be paying that off first. No. Here's why. When you pay off $1,000 student loan debt, the first one, it helps your mind. It helps your mind go, oh, I'm achieving something. All right, I got that one done. We need small wins. We're just wired that way. Our mind tells us that we need small wins. It keeps you going. So that's how I would handle student loan debt payoff. Uh, can I keep answering questions, Molly? You think we're good here? Keep going?
I think you can keep answering questions if you'd like. I submitted a couple in there too. So the ones at the bottom are either
All right.
Ones that just came in live, or I actually ask my own question as well.
Okay. All right. There we go. Thanks, Molly. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for. What about failure to be proactive early? What's the best way to catch up? Great question, Molly.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of think they've got plenty of time, and they maybe just
Yeah.
time goes quick.
Yeah. And let's turn some. We got a storm coming in. The lighting just happened to go dim here in Cincinnati. Yeah. So number one, I'm going to tell you this. It's okay. Number one, it's okay. I can't tell you how you feel, but I hope you don't feel ashamed. I hope you don't. Anybody on this, we get this all the time. Ah, man, you line up 100, I don't know, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75 year olds, and they will say 100%. I wish I got started investing earlier. It's just 100%, but that's okay. So number one, don't beat yourself up. Don't blame, don't shame. Just start. Today's a new day. Go talk to your 401k, do provider, HR. God, do I have my money in my 401k? Is it in a growth fund? It should be, because I don't know, Molly, you look pretty young to me. So you got time still, a lot of time. Just make sure you're not in all bonds, because that's just lower.
Right.
I'm not a financial advisor. Anybody's going to tell you have more stocks than bonds when you're younger. Make sure you're in that aggressive, moderately aggressive stock, mutual fund, or ETF. Number two, yeah, if you can put a little bit into your Roth IRA, do that, because that's serious cash down the road in your 60s. The compounding you saw in that chart is ridiculous. And then do that acorns. It's amazing what that spare change will add up to help you with some medium term goal. Maybe Molly wants to go to Greece and having a crazy 2 week awesome trip with friends and family. I don't
I
know.
would love that.
So maybe that's yours. Do that. That's your 6, 5, 4 year goal for investing. So never too late is true. Matt, what are tricks to get my kids? I love that. Tricks to get my kids 18, 20, 24 to buy into time and compounding. This is like a planted question. Okay, they should join Young Money University. Now, I'm not trying to sell you anything. It's just I'm telling you the truth. Here's the tricks. I'm kidding. We'll tell you about youngmoneyuniversity.com. Here's the tricks. Get them to dream. Remember, we can't do money the old way. Get their whys out. Why do you want to be? What do you want to have? What kind of house do you want to have? If you're 18, 20, and 24, they actually are starting to dream about that stuff. And boy, that age group, Matt, that is they're all about travel, right? Oh, I want to travel here. I want to go see New York. I want to go see I want to go to Phoenix. I want to go to Las Vegas. I want to go to Portugal. I don't know, wherever. I've got 4 adult children, and travel is massive interest. It's the number one interest I get everywhere I go. Get their dreams out. Well, to do that, you need cash. And to do that on a significantly consistent basis down the road, you need to have your money start working for you. Just show them that chart, compounding chart. It's super simple for an 18 to thank you for an 18 or 24-year-old to 20-year-old to be a millionaire down the road. It's super simple if they stay on it. I know that sounds like, come on, right? It's true. Multiple millions, actually, I showed. Here's in the market versus in the mat. Yeah, let's stay there. But thank you. Let's look at Maria real fast. This answer to Matt's question. 18, even Nick, whatever. But let's look at Maria. This is what's going to hopefully blow your mind. If Maria does not stop investing 150 a month at age 26, she will have not 2.2 million at age 65. She'll have just under $8 million. And I will guarantee you, without putting Molly or JJ on the spot, that after a few years out of college, when you're employed by some company and you hopefully have learned this and you stuck to it, maybe you became a member of YMU, you're going to be able to put a lot more than 150 a month away to investments. Would you agree, Molly or JJ? putting you on the spot.
I would agree. Yeah.
I have asked this question of coaches. I speak to student athletes at Miami University. I've asked this of coaches. I put so many people on the spot in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Not one of them have said, no, that they're not going to be able to do more than 150. It's everyone goes, heck yeah. So you're looking at ridiculous wealth over time. 150 a month, boring. Then you move to 250, 350. You can take money out in 6, 7 years to do that fun Greece trip that Molly's going to do, or she maybe has I don't know, a side business she wants to start in 5 years, whatever his Molly dreams are. That's Molly. JJ may have other dreams. I don't know. He wants to maybe remodel his house in 5 years so that he has a big screen out in his porch and he can watch my Pittsburgh Steelers. Uh-oh, I said Steelers.
Uh-oh.
Whatever, right? Hey, Big Ben went to Miami. So anyway, that's all about the tricks to get your kids, get them dreaming. The dreams move to action. Any
So
other questions?
another question, sort of like piggybacking on that. Matt's kids are 18, 24, they're young adults. What about young children? Like, is there maybe a good time to start like planting those small seeds to help them understand the value of why we think about it now, why we act on it now? Like, is there a good age
Yeah,
to start giving them those kind of values?
yeah, I love that. Something that I didn't do the best of. We always, as parents, no one's 100% perfect parent, right? Perfect dad. There's no such thing as a perfect mom. But that stuff we all go, oh, and then you can come back to your kids sometimes and say, hey, I wish I would have told you this, or it's not too late because today's a new day, or dang it, I've asked my kids for forgiveness on something that was just it was on my head and my heart. I'm like, hey, I want you to know, whatever. So here's something when your kids are younger, open up your checkbook, if you will, or the digital checkbook, right? Your app, that's your branch, that's your Kemba branch, Kemba credit branch, your wherever you bank branch. Your phone is your bank branch. Scroll through your checking account and say, hey, here's where my debit card purchase went. I spent this, and your mom and dad, whatever, we spent it. Oh, there's the rent payment that went out, or a mortgage payment. Just start getting them a little more involved. They're not going to be like, oh my gosh, they're too young to go, what? I mean, just say this is what, so they can start going, oh, attaching value to things that you do with them. Oh, by the way, we went to uh I don't know wherever you vacation. We went to, I don't know, a place in North Carolina. You guys went hiking with your family for a weekend. It's cool hiking in North Carolina. You can say, hey, we had a travel savings account, Julie or Sam, whatever your kid's name. And we're doing this. We're putting 150 a month away or whatever your number is. And we were able to pay for this in cash. Well, what does that mean, Mom? What's in cash mean? We just had the money. We saved for it. And it really feels fun. Actually, the vacation becomes more fun when you know it's paid for, right?
Oh yeah.
Anybody, my hands up first. Anybody had a travel or vacation with family in the past and you come home and you're like, oh gosh, I was not on cash. I have to pay a little bit of this mini debt back. Just the vacation wasn't as fun.
Right.
So
Wait.
anyway, that's what we teach in YMU. Um, any other questions?
No questions coming in currently, unless somebody out there is trying to sneak one in right now, but it looks like we're all caught up.
All right. I just have 2 slides to quickly mention, and
Yeah.
we can finish that
Let's get them back
in a
there.
second. There's that in the market versus the mattress. Actually, that's pretty crazy. If you don't invest in the stock market, S&P 500, that's just typically the 500 largest stocks. If you take $1 and you invest it, it turns into $21.23 over that time frame. If you don't invest and leave it in your mattress, it actually loses 70% of its value and it's only worth 32 cents. That's crazy. If that doesn't fire you up to start investing, I don't know what will. But this is the fun one, I guess. Live life with more purpose. So I actually have 3 more quick slides. That's it. When you do the money system, what we teach at YMU, whether you do YMU or the money system or not, all good. But what we teach here at Young Money University is so fun because we have a lot of feedback that it's more fun and more joyful when we're helping those in need and we have the money down the road to help people, or even in the near term. So that second bullet point, the money and happiness debate, I'll give you the fastest summary of what research has found. That when you do have a lot of money, it does give you a little more happiness, some joy. They targeting it at 75 to 100 grand. Once you hit that income per year, you're actually at the optimum um, happiness quotient, if you will. A little bit more can help, but then it starts to absolutely taper off. Like if you make 300 grand, you're not actually more happy than when you made 150. This is research. I get that. And here's why. When some people make more money, maybe you make $500,000, guess what? Robert Kiyosaki talked about this in Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. The fear comes in and you're kind of afraid of losing it. So the fear comes back in. So here's the point. I hope that when you start investing over time, this gets you fired up to dream about, oh man, I can now help other people who are in need. Because that is the number one time tested action that brings most human beings, if not all, joy when they're able to help some other human being. I thought my new car did it in my 20s, my Nissan Maxima, which I loved. I thought that did it. I thought my pool in my house in Orlando when I lived there was it. All this, it just, the buzz went away. But joy comes when you're helping other people. So second to, again, I think Precious is on here, former student athlete at Miami who now works for Kemba Credit Union. Thank you, Precious, for being on here. You can contact Alexis too by visiting Kemba.com to learn more about Kemba Credit Union. I'm just a big fan of credit unions. Check them out. They can give you savings accounts, multiple ones, only a $5 minimum balance. That's pretty sweet. And then anybody who likes what they heard today about what we teach, we've just launched Young Money University. It's a exclusive membership program that is able to help people. We drill down on a lot of what we talked about here, exclusive content, weekly coaching, video coaching, live and recorded. You don't have to have a time commitment because you can go in and go out and grab what you want on investing, debt management, money management, reduce financial stress. We even have some things on entrepreneurship we're going to be doing, bringing expert guests, et cetera. So that's youngmoneyuniversity.com. And if there are no more questions, I want to thank Molly and JJ at Miami University for having me. And thank you, Kemba.
Well, thank you, Todd. We are so happy to have had you with us. I think that was a great presentation. That was some good information to help maybe people like myself who were slow to get off the ground feel a little bit less embarrassed about dragging their feet. Reassuring, if nothing else. So thank you very much. For all of you viewers out there, if you're interested in checking out this webinar or others like it, this and others will be available on our website later today. You can see them all at alumlc.org/MiamiOH. And of course, please be sure to visit youngmoneyuniversity.com for more information. And Todd, thank you again, my friend. We are appreciative that you took the time to join us.
Thank you, Molly. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Love and honor, everyone. Have a great day.